Hello, my fellow Hetalians, and welcome back to Hetafacts. And yes, I am shamelessly jumping on this YouTube trend bandwagon. Yes, I am ashamed of myself. Anyways, today we are going to be doing a Hetalia tier list. And this tier list is going to be like a Super Smash Bros. Tier list, like who would do the best when it comes to combat or to fighting or battle. I have recorded and re-recorded this video numerous times because I keep changing my answers, but I think I have a good list now. Oh yeah, one more thing. I'm going to be going off of character and not historical evidence. Like, for example, the whole, Poland took over half of Europe thing and everything. It doesn't count unless he shows fighting potential in the comics. Again, I'm going off of character, not history. Remember that. Unless the events are depicted in the comics, I am not counting them. Got it? Good. Anyways, time for me to explain the tiers. S tier is basically they could almost dominate anyone. The only real competition they have is those within their class. A tier, probably a lot of these people in A tier are former S tiers, but now they're not so great. But they could still pack a punch. It's just they would get demolished by the people in S tier. In B tier, you kind of have a mix between meh average, but it's more like slightly above average. Like, I would not recommend you mess with these people. C tier, it's average. It's just a meh tier. D tier would be below average, or they might be the people that I don't think would fight very well or we haven't really seen. E tier is probably going to be the worst of the worst. F tier is mostly going to be full of nations that we haven't seen do anything in the comics, so I can't really assume anything. So it's not going to be the worst of the worst tier. It's going to be a I don't know and I don't see any potential tier. So yeah, those are how I'm going to rate these. And remember, these are my opinions. So yeah, keep that in mind. Anyways, let's start. New Zealand, he did kind of raise Australia, so he has to be somewhat hardcore at something, but we haven't really seen him fight much, and New Zealand is New Zealand. I mean, he'd probably be a good support during the war, but one-on-one, I wouldn't say he does very well. Probably D tier. Taiwan, we haven't seen her fight at all. She doesn't really show much potential for it. So, Taiwan, you're gonna be an F tier because we haven't seen you fight much. Belgium, again, we haven't seen her fight really much at all. She's mostly a peacemaker, especially being the head of the EU. So we're gonna put you in F tier. Then we have India, who's kind of like the healer in the RPG. India's the one who heals, like, all the characters. I mean, that's kind of what India did after the Revolutionary War. He kind of was just there to stuff black tea in England's mouth, and then instantly better. So I'm going to probably put him in D tier. I mean, we don't know, but when it comes to Cuba, I'm going to put him in C tier. He gives Canada quite the welt on his head when he mistakes him for America, but he doesn't seem too deadly. He seems like he could be easily bribed with ice cream. Then we got England. England is going to S tier because, I mean, ruled half the world, had a huge pirate phase that pretty much kicked everyone's ass when he was a pirate. Also, England has magic, which works on pretty much everyone except Russia. He's going in S tier. Then we got Norway. Again, Norway hasn't really shown much potential at all to fight. He's more of a supporting character. But I guess he's pretty smart. I mean, he does have his trolls and stuff, and he has his magic. So I'm probably going to put him in C tier. Then we have Lithuania. Oh boy. I mean, the thing is with Lithuania, I mean, he has an entire song dedicated to his military tactics. And he's known to be a very, very good fighter, even though he doesn't look like it. And according to Italy's chess test, Lithuania is apparently still very muscular. And, not to mention, he did kick Prussia's ass. He was one of the few nations that could do so. So, yeah, he's definitely at least up by A tier, but I think he would absolutely get squashed by Russia, who is going to be no doubt S tier. So I'm going to put him in A tier. Ukraine, which says that Ukraine was a pretty harsh when it comes to raising Russia. She was not afraid to show discipline, but we haven't really seen her fight very much, and she's a crybaby type of character. So I'm going to put her in D tier because, again, we haven't seen much potential from the character as of lately. She seems more better at just evading taxes. Iceland, we haven't seen much potential from him either, so we're also going to put him in F tier because he's an island. He doesn't really have to fight anyone. He doesn't have any neighbors. Then we have Ancient Rome, which is going in S tier because, he was well known for his skill in fighting and everything. I guess that is how he conquered the whole Mediterranean. So he's going in S tier. Then we have Greece. He shows a lot of fighting spirit when it comes to Turkey, but to literally anyone else, he's pretty useless. So I'm going to put him in D tier. We got Austria. It is said Austria was born for fighting, but he's just not good at it. But especially now, he can barely walk to a conference room without getting tired. So you're going in E tier, Austria. You're not fit for fighting anymore. Canada is definitely a support character because even when England had literally every odd against him during the Revolutionary War era, Canada just shows up out of nowhere with support and just always has his back. But the thing is, one-on-one, yeah, he'd get clobbered. You're going in you're going in D tier. I think he might have a bit of potential, but I think he'd get mostly clobbered in a fight. Then we have Hungary, which I don't know if I want to put her in A tier or S tier because she's kicked a lot of people's asses, definitely. I'm just going to leave her here for now because, yeah, I got to think about her. Then we have Prussia, which I want to put him in S tier, but as of lately he's become more hetero and less inclined to fight. Also, Lithuania defeated him not once, but according to the comics, numerous times in things like wrestling matches. Also, you are supposedly malnourished, which is why you are short. So I'm going to keep you here in A tier. A for awesome. There. And we have Doitsu. I think Doitsu's going to go in S tier because he's fucking ripped. He's pretty smart when it comes to tactics, and just I would not want to mess with Doitsu. Then we got Cyprus, which is probably going in F tier since we don't know. He hasn't shown much of his fighting ability at all. Liechtenstein is also going in F tier because, well, she wouldn't really ever need to fight because Switzerland does everything for her. But Switzerland could have also taught her how to defend herself, so we are going to put her in F tier for now, since we don't know what she can do. Spain did take on the entire Ottoman Empire and win. He did beat Turkey, but he did kind of get his ass kicked by the Netherlands, as well as a young America. Even Austria beat him. B tier. Hong Kong hasn't really shown much fighting ability. He just shows rebellious, angsty teenager ability, so he's going in F tier. Poland, without Lithuania, Poland is shown to be pretty useless. He has maybe a little bit of potential, but if you take out historical context and just look at the character, yeah, he's pretty useless. I'm gonna put you, I don't know if I want to put you in E or D tier right now. Also, not to mention, Poland is pretty dense. Have you seen some of his military tactics? They're bad. They're really bad. Italy, okay. Useless Italy goes in E tier. Self-explanatory. I get that he beat Turkey when he was a kid, but now he can't do anything. Now he is Hetalia, useless Italy. Egypt gave a sizable wealth to Italy when he tried to invade him, so I'm going to put him in C tier. Then we got China, which he was pretty good in the military back in the day, but now that he's very old and has backaches and stuff, he doesn't look like he can really fight on par with anyone else anymore. I mean, then again, he is pretty handy with a walk. So I am going to put him in C tier. Then we got Seychelles, who hasn't shown any fighting ability whatsoever either. So again, we're going to put her in F tier. Monaco, again, why would she ever need to fight? I mean, Seychelles is an island, and Monaco is pretty much entirely protected by France. So F tier, probably. Estonia, again, he solves a lot of his problems diplomatically. He did help Finland during the Winter War, but I'm pretty sure it was mostly with, like, supplies. Also, Estonia's main tactic to surviving the Soviet Union was running away and hiding whenever things got bad. Also, if you knock his glasses off of his face, he's completely blind. And I don't think this itty-bitty guy is going to hold up in any fight match. Australia, and since Australia lives in a place where with all the most deadly animals, he took down a bear while he was at Canada's place and said, "Oh, hey, I got dinner." I'm gonna put him in A tier. I wouldn't want to mess with Australia. Seaborg, he's a kid that I'm gonna put him in F tier again. Then we got Germania, who defeated Rome, so A tier. We got Romania. Well, we haven't seen how the Romanian Revolution played out, but when it comes to, like, Moldova, he kind of kowtows to Russia when he has his brother hostage and Hetalia horror show. We haven't seen much of him at all, but but he does have magic, so we're going to put him in D tier. Alright, so Japan, oh gosh, Japan, I don't know where to put him. I mean, it's between A and S tier because for Japan, he does show that he can do that earthquake thing in that extra episode, and he has ninja skills pretty much. But oh gosh, I don't know if I want to put him in A or S tier. I gotta think about that. I'm gonna come back to him. It is shown that Latvia can be a hidden genius when he's pressured, but when he's not pressured, he's pretty useless. So I'm going to put him in D tier. Then we get Belarus, who pretty much can stand up to normally anyone except for maybe Russia. But and it's shown that she has a pretty intimidating aura and does not fear anything. But I don't know if I would quite put her in S tier. I would probably put her in A tier. Then we got Finland. Finland is going in A tier because kicked Russia's ass and is surprisingly strong. So yeah, that's where we're gonna put him. America's going to S tier because super strength, can easily lift up a car, could lift up a buffalo when he was a child. Yeah, you're going in S tier, no doubt about it. Then we got Bulgaria, who in the comics is shown he defeated Serbia, which is pretty great, so I'm going to put him in B tier. And that's the one time we see Serbia, by the way. Denmark, former Viking, but got his ass absolutely throttled by Sweden, so we're going to put him in B tier. We got Netherlands. He did absolutely throttle Sweden and Finland in the fight for America. Duchy also kicked Portugal's ass pretty hard, so I would probably put him in A tier. Then we got Turkey, who is pretty well known for conquering things, and I mean, he killed Greece's mom, who was pretty much the Byzantine Empire at that point. So I think I'm going to put him in A tier, even though he's pretty much mostly an old man at the moment. But he can still definitely hold his own, especially against Greece and pickpockets, I guess. With Switzerland, I am probably going to have to say S tier, because with Switzerland, First of all, since nothing would grow in his country, he had to hire out mercenaries, and he's been doing that since he was a child. Second of all, permanent neutrality, extreme permanent neutrality, of literally shooting everyone that comes by. So, yeah, that's a thing. It's just, no one wants to mess with Switzerland. Nobody does. S tier. Then we got Ceylon, who's going in B tier because his body is literally made out of steel. Like, in one of the Christmas specials, the parallel nations try to invade, Ceylon literally punches him, he goes flying out the window because he is literally made of steel. It is Hemaruya confirmed. So he is going in B tier. Then we got Sweden. Oh boy. I don't know if I want to put him in A tier or S tier because, he was frightened off by Lithuania, but at the same time, he throttled quite a few people in his day. So and also he has that intimidating glare. So I'm gonna put him here for now. Russia is definitely going in S tier because he can stop a tank with his bare hands. He can eat nails and tacks raw and not be affected. He can control the weather almost and his scarf and everything. And Russia is also magic proof. Yeah, a definite S tier. Definite S tier. Then we got France, who is going in D tier because while you used to be pretty good, you suck now. You absolutely suck, France. And Romano has about the same capabilities as his brother, so he's also going in E tier. I think Japan is probably better suited in A tier. I don't quite think that he could battle with the Doitsu or any of these people. But yeah, this is my Hetalia tier list when it comes to like a Super Smash Brothers ranking. I was going to remove Romano up, but then I remembered that, you know what, even though he has the Mafia on his side, that doesn't mean that he knows how to fight. He kowtows to the Mafia and is too afraid of them to stand up for himself, as well as he's a pretty good pickpocket, but that's pretty much it. I also decided to move Hungary down because she and Turkey are about evenly matched, as seen from the anime and the manga, so she should be on the same level as Turkey. I moved Sweden down because, well, he kind of got his ass kicked by the Netherlands, so I think he should be at least in the same tier as the Netherlands. I decided to move Estonia to E tier because E for Estonia. E, you suck. I also moved Canada down because he didn't fight back against Cuba at all, or really anyone who has beaten him up in the past. He just talks to them. He doesn't get physical at all. So I also moved Romania up because magic and vampires. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And until then, that was 1 mark higher on your history test. Thank you for watching Hetafax.